Alright guys, so Summer went outside because Lori did not leave. She's out there cutting the grass. And now Summer's just disappeared. So, we don't know what happens here. We're hoping it isn't lawnmower eggs. Okay, here she comes. Alright, so I gotta show you. Alright, come here, Summer, I gotta show you. Because I remember I was telling Summer the story about the childhood fort. And so now I have found a picture of it.
How cool is that?
So this was in the basement. We must have moved somewhere else. This looks like Montana or something. I gotta ask my dad. Eli, stop. Anyway, this is my sister. This is me. This is what I look like. No, this isn't a little boy. This is me.
You are a little neighbor boy.
Yeah, it's not the neighbor boy. All right, let me find a different one. Yeah, this is my sister when she's little. My sister looks like Cindy Brady. With those
curls.
Come on. My mother had to have curled that. There's no way that was natural. I think my sister has natural straight hair. All right, let's find something else. This was on, this was when my dad was in Vietnam and he went on, I remember this because we stayed with my grandma and he went, he got TDY and went and met my mom in Hawaii. Oh, here's me as an angel. That must be me as an infant. And here's me as, I'm Jan Brady, clearly. Am I wrong? Look at that hairstyle.
I don't think your hair's as bad as you think it is, though. It's a normal
Summer.
hairstyle. Mine was horrible. Totally.
You had to curl it up at the end. What kid wants that? This outfit I've got on.
Is that you? At Christmas?
This is like an old.
It says 3 photos selected
Oh,
instead of
wait. Oh, okay. That's
Yeah,
okay.
do
There we
that.
go. There we go.
Is that you?
Yeah, that was our cat. Remember the
Oh,
Persian
that's
cats?
the one, right?
The Persian cats that the poop stuck on their butt. That's them.
Those are cool pictures.
Look what a goof is. Oh
You're
crap.
not.
This was my dad. Let's see. I don't know. Maybe my dad knows how to fly jets too. We need to ask
Let me see
him.
which one's your dad. Oh, it does. Oh, that one.
He might know how to fly jets too. That's my niece. Oh, that's Becca. That's the one that's coming to visit. Yeah, these are these guys.
Cool pictures.
These fly boys.
So cool.
This has to be one of my little
Glamour
nieces' glamour shots.
Yeah.
That they did that to kids. God.
Yeah.
This is my dad as a kid. He's like totally.
He's
He's totally Opie Taylor.
So where's this fort?
Okay, hang on. Yeah, this is in Hawaii. Oh,
That's awesome. Hawaiian temple.
no, that was a Mormon temple. This is how they dressed back then. Look at this outfit my dad has on.
Yeah.
This was like circa you gotta figure this is like circa 1967. This one, this,
Yeah,
this,
that's so cute.
I know. Look at this. This is how they dress. Scarves on their head. I could have never fit in this era. I tell you, I think they tried to make me wear a scarf. Here's my mom.
We'll have scarf day.
Oh God, no. Oh. All right, this must be my dad getting commissioned in the Air Force. It's a god. Oh, here's me with my first camera.
Oh, yeah. I think you blow that one up.
I'm going to post that on Facebook. This must be me as a baby. It was a burger. I have like in a little sailor
Cute,
outfit.
though.
Jeez.
How cute will be.
Oh God, I'm hideous. I
No,
am.
you're not.
God.
Everybody's our own worst critic.
Summer, come on, stop it. Look at this hairstyle.
You and Savannah look
At
like.
least I seemed happy.
Yeah. boy looks like Derek.
This is my sister and her husband. He died of a brain
Yeah, he's the
tumor.
one that passed away.
Yeah, he was like 46. That's Sam's. That's Becca's dad. Becca's coming to stay with us.
Yeah, you and your sister look a lot alike.
This is my brother doing a Tom Cruise. It's my brother doing Tom Cruise imitation. Look how buff he is.
That's awesome.
That's how my brother is. Remember I told you the
Yeah.
component of successful people? So somebody said, we need somebody to do a Tom Cruise in whatever it was. I don't even know this for a fact, but this is what he did. The legs on this guy. Oh my God, look.
Aw,
Look.
how cute.
This is our, I don't know whether, obviously, the reality was it was the opposite. My brother was the angel, I was the
We
devil.
can make our screen bigger.
You see, they made us rolls. Well, no, it'll be bigger on the...
Okay.
Oh, see, my brother, that's how he is. He's still like that today. Oh, here's the fort.
Big time, you guys all of them. Oh yeah, check that out.
Look how much
Guys
fun
are
we
like,
were having.
"Yay!" Yeah. Big fun.
Huge, enormous fun.
No videos. Next time no videos.
That's my cousin.
There's some more.
That's my cousin's back tattoo.
Skydive. Oh, they went skydiving.
My dad did.
Oh, your mom didn't go. You're smart. Your mom didn't go.
There's some old retro photos. We may be able to tell a lot about
Love
that. This is great Grandpa McCully. I have a vague memory of him.
Which,
As I recall, he was very scary, terrifying. And these are the McCullys. This is my dad's family on my mother's side. And they were poor farmers in Illinois.
your dad's.
They came to here. They came to America after the potato famine in Ireland. I don't know that. They were not happy people.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I'll tell you what was happy. Not these people. Yes, these are my relatives.
Probably during the Depression.
I'll tell you who was happy. Not these people. These are the least happy people. This looks like Dust Bowl circa 1920. I'll tell you who's the only happy one in that photo, my dad.
Let me see. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I don't know who this is. We gotta ask him who this guy is. Ah, here we go. Now we've now produced another generation of very unhappy people. Am I wrong? Look at these folded arms and stuff.
Life must have been rough.
This has got to be maybe, this is maybe some great grandma or something. Yeah, I can tell you these.
Things aren't going too good.
We're live on the show, Mom. I'm making up stories of my old relatives. These people were not happy people.
No, back then, they did not smile.
We're noticing that.
Or, yeah, that was not the thing to do.
Well, a couple of them are sneaking it in.
Yeah, they're trying.
These guys, well, yeah.
They
This guy,
didn't
he's a
say
happy guy. You
smile.
know.
This has got to be great Grandpa McCully. Am I wrong?
I think so.
I have a very
Yeah, I
vague
think
memory
so.
of him.
I think it is.
Again, more festive fun. Anyway, Mom, get over here, get on the show. Anyway, my mom's here.
Here, let her sit. Here, you sit down.
Oh,
She doesn't know what and my mom's line is, who are we talking to again? What is this show?
what are we doing?
All right, what is this? My mom can explain this so better.
Okay, I think
That's the farmhouse
old
where the 19 kids
farmhouse.
were raised. Right?
It's 10.
Oh,
10.
okay. I mean, that's straight out of Central Casting.
Yeah,
That's Dad, right?
that's Dad. Yeah,
He's the only happy
And
one in
then-
the picture.
and there's Grandma and Grandpa right there.
Okay, now I wouldn't have recognized them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Who's this?
that's his brother. That's your grandpa.
Oh, that's my great uncle.
Yeah.
I mean, my great,
No, that's,
yeah,
yeah.
my great uncle.
Your great uncle. And
Okay.
your great aunt.
Just so you know, I was never even aware there was a great uncle,
Yeah, he only
or
had.
that my grandpa even had a brother.
Yeah, he had one brother and that's it.
And where are his kids?
They had Bobby and I can't remember what the little girl's name. The
And they
little girl
still
came-
live in the town?
Wait, no, I think they're in California, I'm not sure.
I'm finding these people on Facebook, considering I never knew they existed.
Yeah,
They're in for it now. They're gonna know now. They're gonna be like, who is it again? All right, who's this?
I have no idea.
All right, Dad, get over here. Who are these people? I'm doing a documentary called The Great Depression,
Yeah, that's the same
and
picture.
it's nothing to do with the time. It's these people's attitude.
That's the same picture, yeah. Your dad was 7 in 1944.
He's the only happy one. How with this group? I have no idea.
I think that's your dad's, your grandpa's mom and dad.
This is great. Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah, that's your dad's mom and dad, right?
yeah.
all right. How did I not know that Grandpa Blackwell had a brother?
Oh, because they didn't get along very well.
Okay. All right. It's starting to make sense. But tell me more. I don't. Well, what do you mean didn't get along? I swear to God, I don't even remember this guy existed. Eli.
He was kind of a brat and
No, that was Grandpa's take on it. What's the real story?
Well,
You got to be over here, Dad. We can't see you.
yeah, I don't know.
Dad, you got to stand over here. We can't see you.
Oh, I didn't know all the history, but
So this guy was just shunned from the family.
well, no, he kind of took advantage of my grandpa, but they had a fairly good
that
sized
was-
lot in this little town, and
Yeah.
they said,
In Kankakee?
no, this is Sparland, clear back
Okay,
in
yeah.
another place, and they said
The suburbs of Kankakee.
the
I thought
Bob.
they lived in Washburn.
No, that's McCully's. Bob said, well, can I move my trailer into your back area there and pay you rent? And they said yes. And so he moved in there with his family. And then he didn't pay any rent. And my grandparents took care of the water bills or
It sounds like an
something for
episode of
for the
Judge
city.
Judy, circa 19.
City, that was.
Am I wrong?
Through the 60s. But anyway, some of the money that they collected from the money for the people for the city disappeared. Nobody knew where that disappeared to.
So he's like,
But anyway, they never paid rent, and when my grandfather died,
There he is.
yeah, when my grandfather died, he thought, my uncle thought he was going to get the house. And so he said, this house should be mine to my dad. And that's when I was home for the funeral. And then there was a big fight and said, if you'd have paid rent,
Sounds like a movie.
it would have been yours, but it was in my dad's name. And my dad sold it.
So, oh, okay. And so then it was a bitter.
But there was history before that, but I don't know all that history.
All right,
But
but what is these people's last name? I'm finding these people. My parents are like, why?
Blackwell.
When the camera comes out, they're like,
Hey, Blackwell.
oh, because there was someone that found me on Facebook that said, I don't know very many Blackwells. How can we be friends?
there wasn't very many Blackwells.
There is now, because there's all kinds of people on Facebook named Kelly Blackwell.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah,
Oh,
all
Well,
kinds.
remember when we were in Utah, the phone
Yes.
rang and I picked it up and the lady says, is this the Blackwells? I said, yes. She says, is this the Blackwells? I said, no.
Well, a lot of black people have Irish surnames, and I don't understand. Or no, that's an English
it's because they
surname.
were slaves way back then.
and they took
No.
the name.
Yeah.
There was not that many Irish slave owners. I don't believe that. I do not believe that there's that many Irish people that own slaves.
Well, that's true because the Irish were coming over there and they were
Exactly.
being discriminated against at the
Exactly.
same time.
Exactly. So I do not understand why so many black
Well-
people have Irish surnames.
My friend that I worked with or worked for me, Keith
Dad, you're not in the
O'Hannon-
shot.
Keith O'Hannon.
Dad, you're not in the shot.
Oh, I'm sorry. Keith O'Hannon
what is
was
this
in
again?
in a bar on on St. Patrick's Day, and the bartender says, all the people that are Irish, raise your hand. And Keith raised his hand, and they looked at him, he's black. Well, his grandfather was O'Hannon.
You don't have to watch college football for more than one day to understand there's a lot of black people with Irish surnames. I just don't understand it. I don't understand it.
Billy Dave McDade.
Yeah, Joe Billy.
I mean, Joe Billy.
McDade. McDade, yeah.
And
I promise you, watch college football for one day, and you will see 24.
Joe Billy.
So anyway, not that has anything to do with anything,
Yeah.
but I just don't understand that.
Bobby
Anyway,
Joe.
but that's their last name, McCulley.
That's
Bobby
Mason.
Joe.
What were the other last? The McCulleys, and who else? What was there? Was it somebody else?
Who's that? Oh,
McCulleys and who else?
there's the McCulleys, the Spanglers. On my mother's
Oh, that was an
side,
English
on
surname.
your grandmother's side was McCulleys and Spanglers, who actually came from Switzerland, but they
Oh, that's right.
They probably came from Germany first years before that,
Oh, well, there you go.
and then
Well, that does sound like a German name.
and then on the Blackwell side, my grandmother was a Burnett. Some people call that Burnett, but they called it Burnett, and that came from Scottish. They were a Scottish. The 2 or so generations back had come from Scotland.
Yeah, back when the Anglos met the Saxons. Come on, that's where these people came from.
So anyway, let's see. There's another beside the Spanglers. I can't remember. There's somebody else over on the McCulley side.
The bottom line is these people were not happy.
No, they just don't. They
They didn't know how to be happy. They weren't. Maybe they weren't supposed to be
They
happy.
were not supposed to smile when they took.
Yeah,
took-
well,
No, it was the 40s. You weren't supposed to be happy.
but my grandparents were very poor. They didn't have anything to speak of. My granddad ran it. Excuse me. Get me off camera.
Oh, you're allowed to cough on camera. Summer sneezes and everything. Oh, she sneezes. I tried to forbid it.
My
She
grandfather
didn't.
ran a shelling machine. A sheller is a big machine, and I never saw it. I wish I had, but he would go out when they picked the corn and put the corn cobs into
Oh
this
no,
machine,
I know what those
and
things
then-
are. No, they had one at the feed store, an antique one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and you turn the big handle,
Well, no.
and it
this was-
shoots out the cob with not the corn on it, right?
Yeah, but I think this was a bigger thing, so they could do a whole bunch of.
No, this thing was huge.
Oh, okay.
No, this thing was huge.
Oh, okay.
No, you clearly just
Could've
stood there
been.
all day cranking this giant handle around as corn came out.
Yeah, I don't know if it ran on an engine or what.
Oh, well, maybe. This one was real big, though. It had like a big, kind of like one of those things that you put sticks in now, but it was like,
Oh,
you
yeah.
dump a whole bunch in there, and then, but it was very
But
old and
anyway,
antique.
that's what he did. But
That didn't
then
pay well,
after
clearly.
He retired, and they just didn't have
They retired from that job.
that job, and
You
they didn't
retired from
have.
manual
And my
labor.
grandmother, I don't think ever worked, and that's why they were collecting money for the. And this is town of 500, and they were collecting the money for the city, the water bills.
Now, which grandparents?
That's Blackwell's.
Those were the embezzlers?
No.
Oh,
No.
that was
no,
my-
somebody was an embezzler.
That was my
They
great
weren't
uncle.
the embezzler. That's the whole problem.
Oh, they weren't.
That's when my uncle was living in the trailer behind their house.
So my uncle's the embezzler?
Yeah, could be. But the McCulleys, for the most part, were all farmers. They were all farmers.
And I can't even
And
grow
they
a
had
plant in a pot. It's
10
terrible.
Yeah, 10 kids. 7 boys and 3 girls, and my mother was the youngest of 10.
Dad, that's not impressive at all. The people that populated this area out here, the woman had 19 children. My friend Clay has got a cousin that does everything, and they're all different cousins. They're 19 kids this woman had. These Slovenian farmers moved here. This woman had 19 kids. They're still here.
That one, America's Got Talent, they had the family that sang, and they had like
Oh,
a dozen.
yeah,
Was it a dozen or was it more?
yeah.
And they all sang, and they were all really good.
The whole
Oh.
family.
Yeah. And the mother, you would think she'd be fat and everything else, but she was slim and
think
trim
the mother
and
would be
beautiful.
Yeah, those are all we took last time.
Oh, no, not last time, Dad, though, because Penny was dead by then.
I think it was the last time we were.
No, Penny was gone last time you were here.
Oh.
Remember? You said, where's Penny?
Yeah.
I said she died.
But Penny's not in one of those, I don't think.
Yeah, that's Penny.
Was that Penny? Oh, okay. But most of those were from the last time though. So that must have been one other one from another time. But
Well, that was from the
that
time
was
before.
probably from the time before.
What's this?
The football guy. He was one of the Coast Guard guys that got shot down and killed. But
That's
he was
Vietnam.
a football hero at
Oh, that's
Kent
sad.
State, I think.
Oh, this guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Pat Tillman all over again. Except for
Yeah.
it probably didn't end
Yeah.
as tragically as that one.
Yeah.
This was him?
Yeah, Jack Ritticher. Yeah. He
Interesting.
went down with his whole crew, so there was 4 of them went down in the same airplane.
Well, what do you mean airplane?
Helicopter. They're airplanes also.
I gotcha.
Those are just views of touch football.
All right, what was this? What did they have some
I
ego
don't remember
crippling?
what that was.
Dynamic where they dumped
I don't know
people?
if he was getting ready to go home or something else, but that's Bill McKinney and they.
Dunk 'em in ice?
Yeah, and I'm not sure who all those guys are necessarily.
Obviously actors that they've hired to play the role of these
Yeah,
people straight
yeah.
out of Central Casting.
Yeah, those are mostly flight engine, but there's pilot. One and a half's a pilot. One the Braves, a PJ. That's not a very good picture. That's the guy right here was my fraternity brother.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, I tried to explain to my dad that they don't have beer in the Army anymore. He was, they don't? Tell us that story about where you flew that beer in that one time or something.
Well, we flew it up to the Marines in Quang Tri. The young Marines would come and give you money and say, can you get us a couple of cases of beer? So whoever went up the next day would bring up a couple of cases of beer. Somebody would come and pick up the beer, and
Yeah, I
it
can
was a
assure.
different world than.
Yeah, no, that doesn't go on anymore, Dad. I can assure you, alcohol bad. This is what they've concluded since you were in the service. Alcohol bad.
That's only because they were in the Muslim countries.
No, because they were acting all crazy after they drank it.
No, no.
Now the ones now are. All right, what is this? Did they land on the boats?
No, they're refueling. They drop one of the hoist down and picks up a fuel line,
Yeah.
and you pull it up and you plug it into the
You don't have
side
any
of the
video of that?
aircraft, and you can get fuel.
You don't have any video of that, any stuff like that?
No. There weren't videos in those days. We would have had to take film, and it was.
Well, no, I mean, but I thought you did have some film.
Oh, I got.
Well, this is your room in Vietnam?
Yeah. And your picture's on the wall.
Oh, there I am. I told him I was going to hack your Facebook and I was going to take that picture and post it on your wall and put our favorite daughter,
Where's the picture?
just so Brad and Vicky would
Go
see it.
back, right down here. I think there's another shot.
God, that's an Indian boy. That's not me.
I see Brad too.
Yeah, they're all 3 kids.
You see it, Mom, please. Just say you see it. She's there. Oh, this is the guy that you picked up, that you rescued?
Yeah.
Well, what happened to him?
He was just here at our house.
Yeah, he comes visits us.
Well, what was the story?
Well, he was a forward air controller in North Vietnam, and they were looking for targets for other aircrafts to bomb, and they got shot up, and they got out over the water, but not very far out of the water, and they still were within gun range, so they were getting shot at. They were sending boats out to pick them up, but before we got there, somebody had shot up the boats. And,
Oh, yikes.
and that's Joe Wells. He was my boss at Malmstrom before we went to Vietnam. So he came over after I did. And that's,
Sandbagging.
building sandbags that were,
What were those Air Force issued swim trunks or something? What are these people wearing?
I don't know, they could have been, he was an Air Force Academy guy. And
Yeah,
Andy
it's good
Anderson.
pictures for back then. I mean, the quality of these pictures is really good.
Yeah, they were all slides. They were all slides and then they were made into. And the reason some of those are blurry is because, you know, the speed of the camera for when the darker ones. So
This guy with the beret is, that's,
that's the pararescue PJ guy.
oh, these are the jumpers.
Yeah. They're,
Really seem like the right hat for jumping, but look at these guys. Come on, these guys are great.
the guy on the right made general. Was a
Really?
one-star general years later.
Which one? Which one? This
On
one?
the right. On the
This guy?
Yeah.
Wow.
And he and I did the Coast
I
Guard.
mean, you could look at these guys. You could go find actors today and cast them as these guys. Am I wrong?
Yeah. And Dale Oderman, and that's our maid, and that's how they ironed.
All right, that's politically incorrect. We can't. All right, what's this?
That's just a truck from the ranch hands. Those are the guys that spread the Agent Orange, if you've heard of that.
Yeah, Dad. I
Okay.
talk about Agent Orange in the show.
Yeah, okay. See what
It's
it
a
says?
defoliant.
See under the ranch hands, see what it says?
Yeah, we can prevent forests.
Only we can prevent.
Oh,
it.
how
Only we can
absolutely
prevent
terrifying. How absolutely terrifying. Yeah, well, I'm sure karma got them. If I had to guess, karma got them. Am I wrong? I mean, didn't all those people start having all these problems
Well,
from Agent Orange?
yeah, they have. I don't know how many, but yeah. It was. And he had just made a pickup, so
So this is more of their dumping things and throwing things at people.
yeah, lots of pilot there.
Oh, so they celebrate with champagne. I see, I see.
Yeah, not always, but that particular time they did. That was a co-pilot on that same mission.
I don't know, looks happy to be rescued.
Yeah. More sandbags.
Well, looks like you did a lot of sandbagging. Oh, so why were they driving the truck around?
Well, because a bunch of us, if you went back a few things, you had a bunch of people in that truck going down there to welcome them. Okay, on that thing, the
What was
guys
that?
were coming back and they decided they'd do a trick on the Navy. So they were at one of the little helicopter carriers and they said, well, we have a problem, we'd like to land and check it out. And they said, okay. So they landed on the deck of this little carrier. The flight engineer and the PJ jumped out with the green stencil of the footprints that we had, and they painted the green footprints on the deck.
This is like Deadliest
They said,
Catch.
okay, we're ready to take off, and the Navy says, stand by. So then
Ran out and painted that on there?
well, a few minutes later, the Navy says, okay, you're cleared to go. So they're all happy. Oh, we put it over on the Navy. We put footprints on there. And they got back home and the
That was on
taxiing
there.
in and maintenance says, what's that on your aircraft? And that's
The equivalent of a sign
Big-
being
yeah.
stuck on your back.
it's Big Mother's brother. Big Mother was the call sign of the Navy Rescue H3s.
I didn't realize Sean Penn was in your company. I realize nothing changes though. Nothing changes. Nothing changes. My great uncle, if this was today, would be on Judge Judy. They didn't pay the water bill. They don't. He said that the father was going to give it to him.
But back then, they didn't sue, they didn't do all
Now,
that
back
kind of
one,
stuff.
back one. The guy on the left, Larry Holden, was one of the ones killed with Jack Ritticher.
It's heartbreaking. Men in their wars. Men in their wars.
Get us some
Not sure that's the right hat either.
coffee,
Oh.
or a carrot.
Look at these guys. I'm telling you, these I could go. Give me about a day and a half.
See, I had
and
one
cast.
of those hats.
Yeah, I could cast these guys. I could find actors to cast these guys. This is the guy that made General.
Looks like.
Probably, for some reason, I have more pictures of him than anybody
Looks
else.
like
Oh,
him.
let's see. Yes.
Yeah, that's, they're going
He's
home.
not tall either. Oh yeah, they look happy.
Those two guys are going home, that's why they.
I could definitely cast this guy. Is he Italian? What was his name?
Cardile, Frank Cardile.
No, that's not.
And that's my fraternity brother.
Yeah, they wore a lot of plaid back then.
Yeah. That's the flight surgeon and two of the pilots. Well, that's Coast Guard guy on the left, but not the one that got shot down. They're on the right. Those are the three Coast Guard guys that were exchange officers with us. The one on the left is Jack Ritticher, who got shot down.
This guy's got the widow's peak going on,
Yeah.
doesn't he? Jeez.
Really deep one.
These are great, great, great pictures. Who are these guys?
Two of these guys were at Malmstrom when I was there, and they're Green Hornets. They were flying Hueys. They just happened to come in that day, and I was talking to them. Those two guys too.
Got killed?
No, they
Oh.
were stationed with me. The guy back there is one that we picked up in North Vietnam.
In fact, I was just watching this documentary about Khe Sanh, and it was done by, oh God, I mean, it was just painful back then. They had some general who you could see, this was probably his first on-camera experience, explaining it in front of this map with the pointer. It was good, but it was you know, the way it,
I
you
got
know.
one picture of Khe Sanh in there.
Were you there then?
They hadn't started it wasn't under total siege when I was up there. I was up there in November of 1967.
Oh my God, remind Uncle Ralph when you go to his house, get those old Christmas cards and get that old newspaper clipping. I want that. Uncle Ralph doesn't have any use for those Christmas cards.
What Christmas card?
Remember I told you Annie Margie saved every Christmas card we ever sent her? Yeah, Mom. They're all there.
I don't
You haven't seen them. I found them when I was down there, and there was that. Remember that clipping from the newspaper where you won the Distinguished Flying Cross?
Yeah.
You must have sent it to Annie Margie, and she saved it all these years. And Mother, and every Christmas card you ever sent, with all your handwritten notes on the back. I'll tell you what's a fascinating thing to look at. That. Huh. All right, guys, we gotta go. My parents are now. This is where my mom goes. Now, what were we just doing again? And my dad says
Another one,
she's
Jack?
got a YouTube show. Yeah. Who are we talking to again? Who is this for?
That aircraft was shot up. I can't remember. It had
We're going to be back with more interesting stories tomorrow, though. I don't want you to worry.
60-some holes in that aircraft. Lance Egan was the aircraft commander. He was the Coast Guard, one of the Coast Guard exchange officers.
No, tomorrow's episode is my dad's adventures in Vietnam. That's what the whole episode's going to be. We get off track and we do any other things. All right, you guys, so my parents are here. I've been telling you guys all about it. They know all about what a bad heathen child I was. And Summer got to see some of that, because I was, even on the show, talked about the fort, how we had the fort in the basement. And then there was actually a picture of the fort. So you see, I'm not making this stuff up. Some of these stories I come up with.
And then we moved that fort to Texas.
Okay, because that where the second, because the fort was inside. So when we left,
That
when
was-
we left Illinois,
it
we
was-
went to Texas.
It was in Gibson City when your dad was in Vietnam.
Yes, Mother, I have very vivid memories of that. Yes. But then from there we went to where?
Wichita Falls, Texas.
Oh, okay.
And then we had the fort in the backyard.
That's what I was never clear on. Okay, so then it was in the backyard we played.
Yeah, and then the
Hours of fun.
And then the what did you do? Bugs got
Oh, termites.
Termites, yeah. There's termites all in.
Yeah, that's why they make this stuff out of plastic nowadays. All right. Anyway, I love you too, and you're going to go. They're going to go see my aunt because we haven't been up there. And I told my dad and mom, do not go near Uncle Ralph's dog. So let's hope they listen. But yeah, we're going to have a whole episode. You come up with like a couple of good Vietnam stories, Dad, and we'll have those on the show with pictures and any possible old video that we can dig up from that era. Bye, guys.